Happy 2026 here from Kicking Out at 2. It's our first recording of the new year, and it's Royal Rumble season, and it wouldn't be a Kicking Out at 2 episode if it wasn't assisted by my good, dear, close, personal, longtime friend, my co-host, Dennis J. Levy. You're back. What's up, dude?
Fucking is. Good to be back, brother. Good to see you. Good to see that sexy motherfucking WrestleFest behind us, too, man. We got around it before the podcast. So much fun.
Yeah, we'll get to playing some of that in a little bit. You can check it out over on the Facebook page. I put a video up of my in-laws and my family, my wife, my brothers. They all chipped in to get me a pretty sweet birthday gift. So it goes great with the setup down here with all the action figures, the other memorabilia. Maybe we'll do a recording of us or you maybe playing the game at some point, put it on social media. But we're here today, Martin Luther King Day, January 19th, 2026, to cover our top 5 Royal Rumble surprise entrants. It's a countdown here. You have a top 5 list.
Yep.
I have a top 5 list. We're going to go back and forth. Before we get into all that, social media, facebook.com/kickingout2, as well as our Twitter handle @kickingout2. We're also on Podbean by searching Retromania with a W as a part of the Retromania Pro Wrestling Podcast Network. Kobe Knight has got some stuff cooking up as he's back in the saddle. He joined me for our Starrcade 2000 recap. So be on the lookout for content from him over there. Any podcast platform available, you will find Kicking Out at 2, presented by Retromania Pro Wrestling Podcast Network by searching Retromania with a W, or by searching Kicking Out at 2. Lots of archive content over there, nostalgic feel, if you will. So go ahead and check it out over there. All right, before we get into this countdown, Dennis, are there any names on this countdown that did not make your list? Any surprise entrants from over the years that did not make your list? Any honorable mentions that you felt, you know what, it wasn't bad, but it's definitely not top 5 material?
That's a great question. The one that everyone goes bonkers for, and I thought it was so melodramatic, was Triple H. When Triple H came back and whatever. Maybe it's because John Cena kind of the couple of years before. Anyway, I wasn't big on the Triple H one.
Which one? What year?
Was
it the year he won?
Yeah, the year he won. No one saw it coming. You eliminated like Roman Reigns. And
that one.
And it's like,
yeah,
I didn't care for it. I didn't care for that.
I didn't.
I preferred he wasn't even in the match.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't care for that Rumble either. They were on a mission at that time. Vince McMahon, WWE Creative, to make Roman Reigns their next star, and they were going to do it at all costs by making him this hero. And they went to the well with the evil boss against the rebel babyface, if you will, even though Roman Reigns really wasn't much of a rebel. Fighting the McMahon family, forcing Roman to put his title on the line in the match, in the Royal Rumble match. He was defending the belt against 29 other guys. I thought the concept of that was kind of neat, but it was old hat. It's been worn before, like with Vince using his power to take down the hero, the babyface. So I'm with you there. I wasn't really a big fan of Hunter, and it didn't get the reaction that they desired. Triple H was supposed to be the bad guy, representing his family, the son-in-law, and he eliminates Roman Reigns, and the place went nuts. They loved it.
Yeah,
and it did not get the desired effect of that heel returning to stop the babyface in his tracks. So that's a good one. That's. Any others that come to mind that you think shouldn't have made your list that you thought about?
Another one too. Yeah, the one that pisses me off the most, because I'm very protective of women's wrestling. The one I didn't think needed to be, the one that pissed me off the most when it comes to all like the kind of like for the women's side, Ronda Rousey. I turned up when I saw that bitch come in.
When she won it?
Yeah, when she, I just turned it off.
That was 2022.
I swear to God, I was like, no, I know what's gonna happen here. I'm not. No, I'm
Yeah.
not watching this.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I think the Ronda Rousey. I think that the hype for Ronda Rousey at that time was she had taken was it like a year or so off, maybe a couple of years off, I think, because she was gone from WWE after she lost the belt at that WrestleMania to Becky Lynch, and then they brought her back, and I just think the bloom was off the rose at that point with her. Like when she came in, she was hot and people were into her, but then once they realized, like, all right, she's a star, and she's not a bad athlete, but she's not this great wrestler that they're trying to make her out to be. If they turned her into like the female Brock Lesnar, where she just beat the shit out of people and she had a mouthpiece for her, I think it would have translated better. I think people would have been able to accept that better.
And I want to double down on something.
Okay.
Before she went into WWE, she was this world famous, like
MMA fighter,
badass bitch. When she left the WWE, she lost a lot of that stigma. It was like, man, no, I don't give a shit about you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm anti-Ronda Rousey. When she lost to, much of the way she lost to Amanda Nunes, and just leaving, no shaking hands. It's like, fuck you, bitch. You just lost 2 matches in a row.
She kind of had that poor. She kind of had that poor sport mentality.
When she left the WWE, I was so excited.
Yeah.
She did nothing for me.
Yeah. That second run was a lot less to be desired, I will say. Any others?
That's it.
Okay.
Those are my two like famous ones that were total flops.
I got a few honorable mentions that did not make my top 5. Both took place in 2001 during the 2001 Royal Rumble match. The Big Show was a big surprise at that time because he was off television for quite some time. And then Haku, who a couple of weeks prior was on a WCW pay-per-view and won his first singles title by winning the Hardcore Championship over Terry Funk and Crowbar. And that was towards the end when 2 months before WCW was sold. So it was almost the Haku one took me by surprise, but it felt like, all right, they're just cherry picking the competition's talent, and at this point, it was like a slap in the face. You know what I mean?
And what a disappointment too that they did shit with Haku, man.
He
one comes in as this badass motherfucker, then leaves the WWE like, all right, that was something. I guess.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, and they tagged him up with Rikishi at one point. They put him with they put him up against like Undertaker and Kane. I remember there was a rumor that like him and Rikishi were going to wrestle Kane and Undertaker at WrestleMania. I can only imagine the kind of stinker that match was would have been. Yeah. Anyhow, that's one from 2008. This is a combo one, and it's only because they took place back-to-back and there was some symbolism involved in here. Roddy Piper and Jimmy Snuka in Madison Square Garden. That was an honorable... That almost made my top 5, okay? Pretty cool moment. Garden popped huge. They had the little face-off, but didn't quite make the list for me. And then, last but certainly not least, another combo that took place in 2011. I was in attendance at this Royal Rumble. Was Diesel and Booker T.
Oh, you didn't like Diesel, huh?
I liked it. Yeah. It got a good pop.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just didn't make my top 5. It was pretty cool, and it was right around the time when they had both left TNA.
Yeah.
They were part of some ongoing storyline with Hogan and Bischoff and Dixie Carter, and I think they were like Main Event Mafia or whatever, and they came back, and the Booker T one got a huge pop.
I'd love CM Punk to sell CM Punk too. Really,
yeah,
that was good.
Yeah, it was fun to be there and watch it live. It just didn't make my top 5. So let's get into it. Actually, before we get into it, I saw a little known. There's been a lot of surprise returns over the years, but here's a little trivia question for you.
Yeah,
give me the one wrestler who has made the most surprise Royal Rumble appearances in his career, where he wasn't advertised, and he came back during the Royal Rumble match.
Just for Haas, I'm going Chris Jericho.
Wrong. I'll give you another guess.
Yeah, give me one more. Going through the Rolodex. Surprise. Mr. Perfect?
No.
Give it to me.
Edge.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He had 3 surprise returns in the Royal Rumble match. 3 of them.
That's a good one.
Yeah. The most out of anybody in WWE Royal Rumble history. So.
And then he won. No, he only won 1, right? No. Did he win 2?
Well, Edge won 2 Royal Rumbles.
I mean, that surprise, right?
One was a surprise. Only one of them was a
okay.
surprise. The last one he won was in 2021, the Thunderdome Rumble.
Yeah.
And he entered the Rumble at number 1 to win it all. He went coast to coast. That set up his involvement in the title match with Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan at the second COVID WrestleMania. Yeah. Anyhow, all right. So let's get into it. Let's start. Right. Top 5. We're gonna go back and forth. So your 5, my 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, the whole 9, and go from there. So give me who ranks at number 5 on Dennis J. Levy's top 5 Royal Rumble surprise entry list.
Just because we opened Pandora's box, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start off with a gentleman we just mentioned, Diesel. I fucking loved it because everyone.
And this is from 2011.
Yeah,
and that was. And by the way, just not to cut you off, that was the first and only time they had done a 40-man Royal Rumble match.
That's right. Yeah, he was like 32 or something like that.
I forget what his entry was. Yeah, he was in the 30s. Yeah.
Anyway, what I loved about it, right? Everyone and their mother knew Kevin Nash was coming, right?
Yeah.
But everyone would be Kevin Nash, and it'd probably be like, probably Wolfpack, or maybe just him, just the TNA, whatever, just him, just be Kevin Nash. When they did Diesel, and they played that lesbian bar, like fucking Diesel theme, I popped like a motherfucker. I'm like, Diesel, yes, my dude. So I was surprised. Kevin Nash, everyone and their mother knew Kevin Nash was going to be in that match. But no one knew it was going to be Diesel.
Yeah.
I really appreciated that, dude. I
like how the roster in the ring, they kind of sold it. Like, you see Kofi Kingston's face. Like, everyone kind of stopped in their tracks. And then, like, he's standing in the middle of the aisle. And then he put the glove on. Yeah.
Great job.
Like I said.
I liked it.
Being there live to witness it was a cool moment.
How was the
pop was huge.
Yeah, was it good?
And, like you said, a lot of people knew him and Booker were coming back because, it was out there on the internet that they had left TNA. I believe at one point, the night before, someone this was 2011. There was actually, it was the early stages of smartphones with cameras, and I remember somebody was at Logan Airport in Boston, spotted Kevin Nash, pulled their phone out, asked him what he was doing in Boston, noticed that he dyed his hair black because before he was in TNA, he let his hair, go gray, and he said, "Oh, I'm here to, visit a friend or something like that." and then, of course, he shows up as Diesel for the Royal Rumble match. That was a cool one. That definitely was a cool one. That comes in at your number 5. My number 5, an individual you mentioned earlier, from 2013, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho entered number 2 against Dolph Ziggler in the 2013 Royal Rumble match. Dolph was the Money in the Bank holder. What I liked about it was Jericho wasn't advertised to be a part of it, obviously. Now, there were rumors that he was going to possibly be involved in WrestleMania that year. This was the run of Jericho where he'd come in and work 6-7 months or whatever, and then he'd disappear and go do his own thing, and then come back and work another. So he had he was kind of on a part-timer schedule. What I liked about it was because his surprise return kind of set the tone for that Rumble match, because usually you get these surprises like deep in the middle of the match, or like maybe even towards the end of the match, the last couple entries. They started off hot with Dolph and Jericho was a surprise entrant. And then at that point in my head, I got the wheels turning. I'm like, oh, they should have these two hook it up at WrestleMania. Dolph being the Money in the Bank briefcase holder, Jericho on television invented the Money in the Bank contract, in the storyline. So Jericho takes credit for actually creating it in real life as well, which may be the case, but at least
You
Go
said
ahead.
Vince came up with the briefcase, but he came up with like the idea of a contract on a ladder.
Yeah.
And Vince goes, "You put it in a briefcase, you got yourself a match."
Yeah. That sounds about right. I think I've heard that version too. Yeah, just the fact that you started off the Rumble with a surprise entrant, which was pretty cool. Because years and years ago, the early Rumbles, you knew who was coming in ahead of time. When you ordered that pay-per-view, the first thing you would hear the Royal Rumble music and Vince running down everybody that was in the Royal Rumble match.
And I also love the. I want to say it was on the USA. What was that?
It was the first Royal Rumble on USA Network.
Yeah, and I'm just saying though, the before the pay-per-view. Didn't like USA like the 12 o'clock? Where was the 12 o'clock programming? They actually had like the thing where the balls are spinning.
The tumbler?
Pick it up. I miss that. I used to love that.
I used to like when they would pick the Royal Rumble tumbler. They would go through. The ball would come out. You open the ball. You look at the piece of paper.
There goes your surprise entry. So
that takes away some surprise entrance as well. I mean, I think you could still kind of bring that back. Maybe even that's how you. Maybe that's how you introduce a surprise entrant. Like, let's say L.A. Knight comes in and he picks his ball and boom, I got this number. And then all of a sudden coming in behind him, you get a shot of Chris Jericho and everyone goes crazy backstage. And they're like, oh my God, is Jericho going to be in the Rumble? What number is Jericho going to be at? And it kind of builds some anticipation. Granted, it's always cool when you don't know when they're coming in.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Jericho is rumored to be re-signing with WWE, possibly returning in this year's Royal Rumble match in Saudi Arabia.
He might do a solid for TNA first. He does like a TNA thing. Then he does like Mania. That's speculation.
I could see something like that. Yeah, I could see him doing a one-off in TNA with someone, and then maybe working his way to WrestleMania. Considering the working relationship WWE has with TNA right now. Yeah, so I could definitely see Jericho do that. But yeah, Jericho for me, number 5. He was number 2 in that Rumble, starting off with Dolph. And like I said, it just set the tone for what that Rumble was to be, having a surprise entrant start the Rumble match, which was pretty cool. Unfortunately, that year, he didn't wrestle Dolph. They put Dolph in a meaningless tag match with Big E against Daniel Bryan and Kane. And then Jericho wrestled Fandango, which was one of the worst. I mean, the match wasn't bad, but it was just, I don't know. Jericho deserved a lot better for WrestleMania standards, and I thought him and Dolph would have been a great WrestleMania match.
I think you're right.
All right, give me your number 4.
All right, so my number 4 is technically my number 1, but I'm petrified that you're going to snipe me. So this is my favorite one of all time. AJ Styles. You know me, dude. I was getting. So the 2 times I really loved Japanese men's Japanese wrestling was like mid 90s to 2000, doing tape trading or whatever the fuck, right? And also in like the Bullet Club, Bullet Club era that got me back into Japanese like New Japan.
Yeah.
So I'm watching AJ. My heart's broken that he's leaving.
Yeah.
That he's like, I'm gonna spend family, obviously. People thought he was gonna go like, I don't know, underground or just do. Anyway, no one saw him going to at least for the Royal Rumble. That here he is, you see the Roman Reigns confusion, and you're hearing music you never heard before. And all of a sudden, you see him do the pose. And I'm like, no. And it's like, oh, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite one of all time. I can't even explain how excited I was.
It's your favorite one, but it doesn't make your number 1.
No. I didn't want you to snipe me. I didn't want you to be like, oh, number 2, AJ Styles. I'm like, you cocksucker. That's my number 1. So I'm avoiding you to snipe me. I'm revealing that AJ Styles.
Okay, so it's your number 4 on your list.
No, not my 4 announcement, but it is indeed by far my favorite surprise one of all time.
All right, that's a weird way of putting it. It doesn't matter if we snipe each other or whatever. I'm not here to snipe you. I'm just because I have it on my list. Okay, it's not my number 1.
I just wanted to. That's why that it would have took away from me announcing AJ Styles.
As a matter of fact, it's also my number 4.
Is that funny?
Yeah. Yes, it is my number 4. Okay. And I'm glad I let you go first. And
Yeah.
you had this big reveal. I liked it because there were a number of different things. AJ was gaining some steam after he left TNA. He did some Ring of Honor, New Japan. The Bullet Club stuff was pretty fun. And then for him to do it in Orlando, where that Rumble was held, where there's deep roots from his time in TNA at Universal Studios, not far from where that arena is. I thought, and I saw a video recently on Twitter when they were talking about Royal Rumble surprises, and they talked about how his debut got screwed up. And the reason the person that posted this on Twitter said the debut got screwed up because they focused on Roman's face and
I liked it.
I thought it was good too. I didn't have a problem with it.
Who is this guy? And we're hearing the music, like, yeah, who the fuck is this guy?
Well, for the viewers, for the viewers at home, you don't know that this is AJ Styles just yet. You see Roman's face; he's looking at the screen. Now the crowds, you can hear the crowd; they're popping, and from what I understand, it's because on the screen it said "phenomenal one," so they kind of knew ahead of time. But for the viewers at home watching it, it was like, whoa, like just the reveal, how they set it up. I thought it was well done. He had a great showing in that match too. He was not one of the final few, but he was down to the last 10 or 12 or so. He had a good showing, about a good 30 plus minutes in the match, and they foreshadowed some stuff with him in that match with Jericho, even Kevin Owens, and I thought it was great. And the one thing I also liked about it too, and there's always been that stigma over the years of Vince and how he would take a guy from another organization, he would try to reinvent the wheel with them and change up their look and change even their name, so he can have the trademark and the copyright over it. They didn't do that this time around. They let him be who he was, from the last time you saw him in New Japan. It was like a Bullet Club version of AJ without calling him Bullet Club. So I thought it was well done. And that year in 2016, from his Rumble debut, he wrestled Jericho at Mania. He had a title match with Roman Reigns, the pay-per-view after Mania. The stuff he did with John Cena. I mean, to me, his first year, he ended up winning the WWE Championship later that year. His first, if you want to talk, there's great debuts in wrestling history, and we can have another debate about that as well. I think what followed up from his debut makes his debut one of the best of all time. Right up there with the Kurt Angles, the Brock Lesnar's, Kane, names like that. Jericho even. Well, I shouldn't say Jericho. Jericho had a great debut, but the stuff that followed didn't really match up. But anyways, long story short, AJ Styles, Royal Rumble 2016 was my number 4 as well. So you didn't snipe. I guess you sniped me.
I saw that come.
I guess you sniped me back.
Right here in the God, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Dave did not coordinate that. I just knew my AJ was going to get sniped. That was going to be my number 1, but I couldn't. I needed to reveal he's more important to me than you.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so give me your number 3.
All right, number 3 that was my only female entry.
Okay.
My girl, I actually did see it kind of coming, and some people might too, but she's my girl, Mickie James, when she came up with the TNA Championship
in 2022.
I thought that was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
I really appreciated
I liked that.
I really appreciated that.
I liked that. I was
seeing her again, and it was like, I don't know. Mickie James always puts a smile on my face.
They let her come out to her TNA theme too, the Hardcore Country. She wore the belt. They even had the graphic announcing that she was the TNA Knockouts champion. I enjoyed that too. I thought that was a good one. I was kind of hoping it was going to lead to something with her, maybe at WrestleMania, or maybe like a Hall of Fame induction. Like one of the other girls dumps her out, and it sets up something at WrestleMania where they have the Knockouts belt defended at WrestleMania. But that was the last year that Vince was pretty much in charge, so they weren't really that. And another thing too, that surprised me because that was during Vince's his final few months in the company. As the chairman of the board, and he didn't allow stuff like that.
No. Yeah.
So you kind of saw a new leaf turning for the company where they were more open to having working relationships with different organizations, as we see now with TNA. Last year, the acquisition of AAA. A lot of the indie companies that they work with overseas in the UK and in Europe. So even Pro Wrestling Noah over in Japan, they have a working relationship, but not as strong as it is with TNA. But so to see that with Mickie James as the Knockouts champion, with the graphic, the music, the look, everything, didn't change her up. Boom. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I liked it. All right. My number 3. It's not me sniping you, dude, but this is just where I put it. It's probably one of the most creative ways to enter the Royal Rumble. From 1998, the 3 Faces of Foley.
I loved it.
Cactus Jack, Mankind, Dude Love. Now, Cactus Jack in that Royal Rumble, he came in as entry number 1. Later on in the match, Mankind entered at number 16, and then at the end of the match, Dude Love came in at number 28. Really great stuff. The Mick Foley, 3 Faces of Foley, it to me, I loved it. It's one of the, that's a fun Rumble to watch, and the highlights, from that Rumble are endless. But that's one of the ones where a lot like okay, cool. Like they really accentuated this Foley's multiple personalities for this Rumble match. I thought it was cool. And that's why it makes top 3 for me.
My one nitpick on it.
Okay.
I loved that Cactus Jack was the first one.
Yep.
But I wish Dude Love was 2, and then Mankind was the 3rd one. That would be my one nitpick.
So the order would have been different?
Yeah, because I think...
So Dude Love comes out first?
No. Go Cactus Jack,
okay.
Dude Love, then Mankind.
Okay.
My opinion, I think if you're gonna go out to dinner to the Mankind restaurant, you're gonna start off.
Mankind's the main entree.
Exactly. Yeah. Mankind's the main entree. Yeah.
And so Cactus is the appetizer.
Yep.
Dude Love's like the
soup, the
salad,
yep.
And okay. I like that analogy. Yep. I like that. Yeah. So in that Rumble, like I said, Cactus came out first. He had that memorable, face-off with Terry Funk, who was the Chainsaw Charlie personality. And then he gets dumped out at some point. Mankind comes back in. Didn't really have a whole lot of time in the match, probably because he needed to get back there and get dressed to go be Dude Love. And then the Dude Love portion, he was in the Final 4. And, yeah, I can't say enough good about it, to me. So give me your, what do you got next, 3?
Yeah, 3, right?
Yeah. Who's your number 3?
I'm going to go the same thing.
Yeah.
The Faces of Fear. The
Face of Foley.
Who was the Face? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Face of Fear was Kevin Sullivan, Brutus Beefcake, and Earthquake, Avalanche. That was pre-Dungeon of Doom.
All right, yeah. Anyway, that being said, the Faces of Foley. That I could have dementia, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna remember that spot. I really had a lasting memory in me.
You know what's interesting about that too is that because he portrayed those 3 different personas so significantly well, and separate from each other. You could have pivoted off of any one of those personalities moving forward out of that Rumble. Granted, they stuck with Cactus Jack because, they had stuff going on with Road Dogg and Billy and the New Age Outlaws, but you could have easily pivoted to have Mankind do something at that WrestleMania, or maybe even Dude Love do something. Yeah. And a lot of people look at 1998 as the year of like Steve Austin, and rightfully so. Like he was the hottest thing going at that time for the WWF. But to me, the anchor and the MVP of that year is Mick Foley. And because of all 3 personalities that he had at that time. Cactus Jack had that run with Terry Funk as Chainsaw. They had that stuff with the New Age Outlaws. It was real personal with the whole dumpster match. Then he transitioned to Dude Love, who was, trying to be Mr. McMahon's corporate champion, and he had a classic with Steve Austin at Over the Edge 1998 that you and I watched on a watch along.
Yeah.
If you want to go back and watch a fun match and follow along with us, go in the archives and look for Steve Austin, Dude Love from Over the Edge 1998. Or even watch it without our commentary, and you watch it, on Netflix, because that's where all the old PLEs are now. Excellent match, really fun. Crowd was super hot for it. Great story, just a lot of fun to watch. And then Mankind. I mean, he reverts back to Mankind. He's with Paul Bearer. He tags with Kane. He has the Hell in the Cell with Undertaker. He has those series of matches with The Rock. Just excellent stuff from Foley all around. It's actually kind of funny that he entered the Royal Rumble as all three personalities, and then throughout the course of the rest of 1998, he put on some memorable performances as those three personalities throughout the course of the year. So it's kind of some foreshadowing, if you ask me.
You want to make second potatoes? I want to take back my last statement. I think he did it on purpose now, because what was the first for the first popularity of Mick Foley?
Cactus Jack.
The second one was Mankind,
and then
the last one was Dude
Love.
I think he did that on purpose. I take it back. If that's the reason why he did that,
it's genius.
I like it now.
Yeah. The way each one of those characters were introduced. Cactus got him on the map. Mankind, he transitioned in WWF, and then eventually he created Dude Love. Yeah, that's
I take it back.
Yeah,
I like it though.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's how they set it up, because of the introduction of each character. A lot of fun. All right, so that was your number 3. Three Face of Foley. My number 2 entrant, or my number 2 on my top 5 Royal Rumble surprise entrant, goes to Edge in 2020, right before COVID hit. He was the number 21 entrant in the Royal Rumble. Edge hadn't wrestled a match in 9 years, and he was out with a neck injury. There had been little rumblings that he was trying to get cleared to come back. He had done some sporadic television appearances, but Royal Rumble, really cool moment. Took place, I believe, in Houston or is it Phoenix? One of the two. One of the baseball stadiums. Place went crazy. And at that point, I was like, oh, maybe they should have him win the Royal Rumble. Great standoff with Randy Orton in that match. He was one of the final few. He ended up getting dumped out. But yeah, a lot of fun to see Edge come back. Edge was one of my favorites during Ruthless Aggression era, and is the rated R superstar. I thought he really elevated his game at that point, and yeah, it was a really cool moment. I had a living room down here full of people watching that, and everyone was like, "Whoa!" And even my wife, who watched it, she was just like, "Wow, that was really cool." She's not the biggest wrestling fan, so to get a non-wrestling fan to react that way, it shows the importance of that return. Give me your thoughts on.
I tell you what, brother. So, because I'm a big Matt Hardy fan. That I never was big on Edge. And before that, I was more of a Dudley guy and a Hardy guy. Okay. I thought they were like.
I wasn't the biggest Edge and Christian fan as a tag team.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But I like them as singles.
But with that being said, though, as much as I never shit on Edge. I don't go on my wedding, but Edge sucks, whatever. But he just never was my dude.
Yeah.
But for not being my dude. That was cool.
Yeah,
I really appreciated that. I really did. Him coming back, and I always cheer when you have a fucking neck injury.
Yeah,
how can you not?
And you're able to come back from that.
Yeah. And Edge, as far as I'm concerned, he never had these rumors where he beat up girls, he raped girls. What? Or you ever say some of these wrestlers or top guys have a background where it's hard to cheer for them.
Yeah,
Edge is not. He other than the Lita thing, that was kind of
but everyone makes mistakes when they're younger. You know?
That's what I mean.
He's a married man. He's got kids. It's different.
If you are and I hate to say this, if you are going to cheat on your wife or you're going to cheat, you do it with Lita. You know what I mean? All right. Sorry I said that, but it's the truth.
The views expressed by Dennis J. Levy do not reflect the folks here kicking out at 2. Myself included. My goodness.
If Nick ain't listening, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Maybe she's listening upstairs if she came home. I don't know. She hasn't come home yet. She's working. All right, so that comes in at my number 2. He came in at number 21 that year. Unfortunately, COVID took place, and that canceled some big plans for WrestleMania, and he had that last man standing match with Randy Orton in the Performance Center, which wasn't a bad match, but it just went way too long. And, I mean, that WrestleMania is just, it's a blur in my opinion. The only thing that's memorable about that WrestleMania was the cinematic matches, the Boneyard match and the Firefly match. But yeah, Orton and Edge, they were supposed to have some deep rooted heavy stuff going into that WrestleMania following Edge's return, and COVID changed all that, not just for them but for everybody as well. All right, so who comes in at your number 2? Your number two in your top 5 Rumble.
Let's go to Philadelphia. I forgot what year it was. The Philadelphia Royal Rumble. Where, my opinion, the last time it really felt that ECW was alive. Bubba Ray Dudley.
Ooh, 2015.
I had goosebumps over goosebumps over goosebumps when he in Philadelphia. ECW.
Yeah,
that was the last time where I felt like ECW was in the building.
Wow,
that juice, that energy.
That's pretty cool.
That is legit. My legit number 1 is AJ Styles, but my legit 2 is Bubba Ray Dudley. It really is.
Okay.
That just gave me goosebumps. Goosebumps over goosebumps. My second favorite tag team of all time was the Dudley Boys. Everyone knows Demolition. Demolition for me.
Yeah.
But right behind them was always the Dudley Boys.
Yeah.
I was holding back tears when that crowd ECW and just. The only thing that pissed me off. Fuck you, JBL. It's Beverly Lee.
What do you say?
This is the way he did it. If you ever get to watch that, watch the
slow it down because I don't think our listeners can understand what you said. We don't have subtitles on the podcast.
So on commentary, one of it was JBL, and just the way everyone's like getting all the saturation that an ECW guy is in Philadelphia. It's a surprise entry.
Yeah.
We didn't see this one coming.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, JBL, Bubba Ray Dudley. Just the way he did it. It was like it was a kick to the balls. It's like, fuck you, brother. Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
I was so angry.
Took the air out of it
really
for you?
Did. That was the only thing. Then you guys in the ring, and then we're all back together, and I was like, JBL, just shut the fuck up. That was it. That was that's my one nitpick to that. That is JBL. He popped the balloon, but then the balloon got blown up again. But but Bubba Ray Dudley, that's a very, very big place in my heart. That I loved it.
Okay. All right. Interesting. I like it. All right. Number 1. I kind of got a feeling we're going to be sharing this one. All right. Trying to find the right way to
I know you're going to say it, and I'm just, me too. How can it not be? You know what I mean?
How can it not be? All right. You go first.
1, 2, 3. Cena Bomber.
Yeah.
Come on. How can it not be Cena
2008,
Bomber?
Madison Square Garden.
Not even a fan of Cena Bomber.
Yeah.
Anti-Cena Bomber.
Yeah.
Bro, I had a tear come down my face.
Well, when that happened?
Dude, what an inspiration. He fucking breaks his leg in 20,000 places.
No, he didn't. He tore his shoulder.
Oh, that's what happened? I forget.
Yeah.
But anyway, he destroyed it.
Tore his pectoral muscle off the bone.
He saw it on live TV.
Yep.
Live TV.
Yep.
And
he was supposed to be out for 9 months, and he comes back in the Royal Rumble as a surprise entrant number 30. And, that was deep in the era of let's go Cena sucks. The audience
Madison Square Garden, too.
And Madison Square Garden, who those New York fans are ruthless. They are very vocal, very opinionated. They're not like a lot of the other fans out there across the country. They stand out.
Yep.
And that audience popped huge for his return. And then for him winning it. He was rumored to possibly miss WrestleMania that year. And for him to come back like that and to, Madison Square Garden, the final entrant, number 30, place went crazy. The standoff with Triple H and Batista, and then him eliminating Triple H to win the whole thing. Yeah, it's one of the great. WWE recently put out a list on social media of their top Royal Rumble surprise entrants, and I'm gonna look it up here. They ranked the greatest Royal Rumble returns of all time on their YouTube channel. Jericho in 2013.
Yep.
It made my top 5. It makes their top 10. Undertaker in 2003.
I don't remember.
It wasn't very memorable.
remember.
He was off TV for like a couple of months and came back on the motorcycle.
Like the Big Show beat the shit out of him or something.
Yeah,
I do
that's what it
remember
was.
that.
Yeah. Rey Mysterio in 2018, which wasn't a bad one. That took place in Philadelphia. RVD in 2009.
Oh, how can I forget about RVD? Oh, honorable mention at the very
It wasn't, but you know what though?
That was my dude. That was my dude.
Yeah. Number 6, Naomi from 2024. She started that Royal Rumble that year, I believe, against Natalya, if I'm not mistaken. 2008, Roddy Piper. Last year, 2025, Alexa Bliss, who had been gone for 2 years off television, to come back. That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
Edge in 2020, number 3.
Yep.
Number 2, which I didn't think really deserved to be on this list, because he was advertised to return in the Rumble, was Cody Rhodes.
What?
And he was that was the year he first won it in 2023. That was the year Nikki and I went to San Antonio for my 40th birthday for that Royal Rumble. And then number 1, Cena Bomber, 2008. That makes the top 10 of WWE's greatest Rumble returns. Yeah, what can I say? I mean, Cena, very polarizing figure, as they like to say. It was, nothing beats that. Nobody saw that coming. Nobody could see that coming. And then he would go on to that WrestleMania, take part in a triple threat with Randy Orton and Triple H for the WWE Championship. He'd come up short. But yeah, I actually saw, was it an interview I read or saw? I had saw somewhere that when Cena had that injury take place, actually no, it was on Pritchard's podcast where they did an episode on Cena, and Cena at the time was not married. He was a single guy, no kids, or maybe he was married. I don't know. Anyhow, long story short, he moved down to Birmingham, Alabama, and he rehabbed 3 times a day, 6 to 7 days a week, so he can come back in time for to work WrestleMania. He had nothing to do except just rehab. So he did the rehab as much as he possibly could, as doctors would allow him to, and that brought him back as early. His time frame was like after WrestleMania, from what I understand, is that he was going to come back, and he managed to shorten that by like 4 or 5 months. So he was gone in October of 2007, and he came back. He came back 3 months later, 3.5 months later. I mean, so he shaved off 6 months of rehab and recovery time, and by rehabbing every single day for 4 months, 3.5 months. That's a testament to his work ethic and his commitment to the business and to the industry. And because I'll be honest with you, I wasn't the biggest Cena guy either. And going into that WrestleMania, I was like, I really hope they don't have Triple H win another Royal Rumble. I was kind of, and I like Triple H, but I was just like, I don't want to see a Triple H Royal Rumble win. And he looked to be the favorite, at least the way they were building it up on TV. And for Cena to come back, I was like, oh, now he's got to win. Like, number 30 is a surprise. He's got to win. So those are our top 5 surprise Royal Rumble entrants. Go on social media, on our Facebook, on our Twitter. You give us your top 5 Royal Rumble surprise entrants in the thread below with this post. Before we get done, when it comes to surprise Royal Rumble entrants, have there ever been any individuals you've wanted to be surprise entrants that have never entered or never came back in a Royal Rumble match?
Of course.
All right, give me a few.
All right, so the one I wanted the most in the history of history, 2017, Kenny Omega is a free agent. It was either going to be WWE
or New Japan.
And to this day, he's still Kenny Omega. If he's lying, he's lying. But on any interview you ever had, you'll still say it was 50-50. Is that I wanted him to be a surprise entrance in the worst way. The 2017. He
was pretty hot back then. He was a hot free agent.
Yeah.
They
just got that match with Okada.
Yep.
I would have cried. I'm telling you, that would have been my number 1 times 1,000. If Kenny Omega would have did it. So that's what that's definitely my number one times a million for the what ifs for the Royal Rumble. That's a good question. Trying to go through Rolodex, going to female wrestling.
Yep. Yeah, if you got a female one, give it to us.
No, I can't. Oh, Tessa Blanchard, but of course she's a racist piece of shit. So fuck her. That broke my heart. My favorite. Yeah, she was at one time my favorite female wrestler. She was my female Kenny Omega for years, and then she turned out to be a racist piece of shit. So fuck her. That's all. Okay. At one time, maybe Tessa Blanchard. He was already dead, so I was going to say maybe Bruiser Brody, but I think he was dead before even the concept even happened.
Correct.
So I'll die in the hill, just Kenny Omega and Tessa Blanchard.
I thought that there were some instances in the more recent years from the men's side where they could have inserted The Rock. There'd been rumors of a Rock Roman Reigns showdown.
Why did they do it in fucking what was that, Philadelphia, right?
That was the goal was for Rock and the. All right, we'll go back here for a minute. Yeah. The original plan, and this was came out of The Rock's mouth on Pat McAfee's show. The original plan was for in 2023 at WrestleMania 39 in Los Angeles at SoFi was to do Rock and Roman, but for whatever reason, they couldn't get it. They couldn't get it done. They were close. But I think there was some particulars about the creative. I'm not quite sure. That's kind of how Rock implied it in the interview. And then the following year, Cody won the Rumble that year, faced Roman, and Roman beat him at 39. The following year, Cody wins the Rumble again, and it looks like we're going to get Cody Roman again, which I was totally in favor for. And then they pivot to Cody's going to give up his Royal Rumble opportunity to let The Rock face Roman. And then that's when the fans went crazy and were like, what are they doing?
Anyway, that was stupid. I'm sorry.
And then they turned it in because of the fan backlash. They changed it up. So they turned The Rock heel. He sided with Roman. They brought Rollins involved. They made a tag match, which was kind of like a throwback and an homage to the WrestleMania 1 main event. And then Cody and Roman wrestled in the main event of the second night of WrestleMania 40. But the next plan was Rock and Roman. Now, in recent years, I felt that there could have been opportunities for The Rock to be like the 31st entrant per se, where all 30 guys have entered, and then all of a sudden, boom, because he's the on the TKO board, he's one of the bosses, that he could just kind of enter himself in the match and win it and kind of have that heel. Like, I thought maybe there was a chance they could have done that last year, where like they have all 30 guys, and then it's down to like, let's say it's like Roman and Punk and Rollins or whatever, and then like Rock comes in and dumps them all out, and Rock gets the title shot. Because the rumor was last year, before it was supposed to be Cena and Cody, the rumor was it was supposed to be Rock and Cody, based off of what took place the previous year. So I thought there were some opportunities to kind of creatively put The Rock in the mix and have him be a surprise entrant, and maybe even the 31st entrant, which has never been, well, it's been done before in a 40-man Rumble, but have him come in as like an extra because he's the boss. He could do whatever he wants and then win the Rumble and secure himself a title shot against the champion. There are rumors that next year when WrestleMania goes to Saudi Arabia, that the Saudi Arabian government, they are willing to shell out major money for The Rock to take part in that WrestleMania, and that might be the one and only opportunity we get to Rock and Roman Reigns. So maybe they will have The Rock win the Royal Rumble next year. I don't know. Or maybe he won't even be involved, and they'll still get us to Rock and Roman. But that's one that comes to mind. There's been a few other times for surprise entrants.
Of course, how about Daniel Bryan? How could he not be in that?
That was 2014. That's a good one. Yeah,
at 30, I'm like, oh, he's gonna come at 30.
Yeah,
relax.
And then we get Rey Mysterio. Yeah. Poor Rey Mysterio gets booed out of the building like Raven hung Sandman on the cross in the ECW arena. You know what I mean? Like God, man, it was just it. Yeah, that was a huge missed opportunity. I thought in the Ruthless Aggression era, I thought maybe like Hogan could have been a good surprise when the year that he wrestled Vince at WrestleMania. I thought would have been an interesting way to bring him back and put him in the Royal Rumble match, and then maybe Vince screws him over. That's another one that comes to mind. As far as the ladies go in more recent years, I would have loved to have seen a Tessa Blanchard enter the Royal Rumble. I would have loved to have seen. I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's.
You know these Japanese names, but no one would have popped out.
No, I don't think anybody would have really gone crazy for a lot of the Japanese names. Those are the few that come to mind for me as far as surprise entrants I would have liked to have seen over the years that for whatever reason they didn't pull the trigger. So that's where I rank when it comes to Royal Rumble surprise entries. Thank you, Dennis. This has been a lot of fun. Top 5.
Sometimes Dave makes me do homework. I did homework. This was my favorite homework assignment I ever did. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed prepping and doing this.
Now,
podcast.
Our next episode, we're gonna watch a Royal Rumble of your choosing. So we're gonna let you marinate and figure out what you want to watch, and we'll be back on board on our next episode when it comes to Royal Rumble themed content. So again, Dennis, thank you. It's been a pleasure. Look forward to doing more of these. Our next one, like I said, Royal Rumble watch along, and that about does it for this episode. So with that being said, let's put this one officially down for the 3 count, and we'll see you all next time.